The cream background has black lines painted over it boldly. This door is solid, so the flat vertical lines, interrupted only by the concentric circles, create a striking pattern. You reach for the lever handle and pull the door open as you admire the glossy finish.
Gum-Drop, you've made your way to the entrance of the factory. Now all you need to do is get inside. What is your ultimate goal for getting here?
I am going to look for a way to get people out. So the first step is definitely to get in. No windows, as I understand it.
No windows at all.
One main door? Are there other doors?
There is an enormous front door. The description of it is more industrial than the rest of the area would be, which is wild because the rest of the area is fairly industrial. The door is an enormous square split down the center with these locks that are these long bars that slide and interconnect. The only way it appears to open them is a mechanism that is being guarded by some of the automated guards.
Thank you for the detailed door description. I'm sure our listeners will appreciate having a bonus one.
We're just going to cut that and put that as one of the doors. They're going to be like, why is it tonally so different than the way the rest of these are delivered?
Big old smokestacks? There's several, or one, or two, or...
There are at least 4.
4 big smokestacks, all 4 of them smoking.
Yes. Though it is notable, as the smoke is coming out, you see right at the base of the smokestack, before it really hits the air, the smoke isn't entirely black.
That bears checking out. Last question, are there any, deliveries, trucks coming in, anything like that?
Nothing you can immediately see, but again, the only entrance that you're seeing is that enormous door, and there doesn't appear to be, an exit, or, there's no, back lot where they, have their dumpster and throw their trash or anything. It feels like it's sealed off in a way that doesn't make any sense.
Certainly not up to code. Fire and safety.
All right, guys,
All right.
Our next song of Sugar and Snow is the fire marshal comes to investigate the city of coal. We're gonna...
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna try to get to the top of one of these smokestacks.
It's fairly distant. You're gonna have to climb along the protected wall.
Okay.
All right. Roll acrobatics or athletics, whichever is higher, to get your way up the wall.
It's an 18 on the die with, you said acrobatics, so that's a 25.
I want you to describe how you scale this wall using acrobatics, because that brings me joy.
Is there a corner on the outside?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Jackie Channing right up that corner.
For those of us who don't know what that means.
A watch rush hour.
Here's your 2-hour homework, listeners.
Where there's a 90-degree angle on a wall, you get into that 90-degree angle and you kick off of one and then kick off at the other and then you kick off the other until you're up at the top.
You get to the top of the wall and you notice the width of it. It's almost like a highway in width.
Oh.
It is thick.
Okay.
But it does make it fairly easier for you to travel across the top of it. You reach a smokestack, you notice, importantly, as you scale around the rooftops to get to that particular smokestack, you at no point can see into the factory. There is no opening, there is no space. The whole thing is indoors. There doesn't appear to be a courtyard, there doesn't appear to be a space. It's all one, probably very stuffy, contained building.
I should expect brutalist architecture from the Krampus, so. How far is it from the wall to the roof of the building?
The wall to the roof of the building is... Are you talking width or height?
Distance. Just straight distance.
Oh, just straight distance? It's going to be 5 or 6 feet. It's not anything, nuts.
Yeah, I'll just jump that. I was going to try to use that shadow step stuff, but 5 feet I can jump.
Yeah, you can hop that pretty easily. The real protection of the factory is the enormous wall. They don't really worry too much about the distance from like the wall to the factory itself.
Okay. Yeah, once I'm up there, I'm gonna start heading for the smokestacks. I'm used to a smokestack having a little bit of an angle. Is that how you would imagine them, or are they just straight?
I am imagining them a little bit more like chimneys, perverted chimneys, in the sense that there's something wrong with them. They are not of the same kind of like wholesome excitement.
A corrupted chimney. Imagine a dark chimney.
Yes, an evil chimney. It's going to be a smooth concrete.
Can I get any kind of a grip on it?
I mean, it's concrete, so it's pretty porous, and your hands are also fairly porous, for you are a cookie. So you're able to get purchase the way that like a gecko would get purchase.
Yeah, I look like a starfish just wiggling up.
So you starfish up the smokestack, and as you reach the very top of it, you are accosted by this really thick, dense, heavy smoke.
I don't have to breathe, so this is fine.
It's not pleasant, regardless of whether or not you have to breathe in it or not.
All I'm saying is this ain't gonna kill me. Is it so hot that I will burn to a crisp?
It's pretty toasty. You don't know how hot it's going to be at the furnaces underneath these smokestacks, but it is very clear that the smoke does not diminish much in heat if what is hitting your face now is any indication. You can feel a little bit of your frosting start to soften.
I don't like soft frosting. That is concerning to me. I am gonna like stick my head down inside.
Whatever else you're going to do with it, I will say when you pull it out, it is going to be sooty like a Looney Tune.
Great.
So here's the thing, the smokestacks are very long, and you're sticking your head in one. It's very clearly obscured by very dark smoke, so you're just sticking your head into what amounts to a lit cigarette. I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to do here.
Well, you said that it wasn't dark. Like right at the lip of it, it seems like it wasn't dark.
Yes. As you stick your head in to look at the greater smoke, you notice that it turns dark. It's kind of hard to see this because you're looking straight through the smoke itself, but it is darkening as it gets closer and closer to the top. You can see at the base there's flashes of colors, greens and reds and golds, all kind of in the bottom. It's not the look of fire, it's the look of, you can only describe it as if those ball ornaments that you're so familiar with, ones that often hold memories, are its own glittered dust. Not horribly dissimilar to the jar you carry.
Okay. From what I can tell, the smoke is really magic glitter turning into smoke as it exits.
Something that is not dissimilar to the glitter you carry is the source of the burning.
Wow. I do have slow fall, so the fall wouldn't kill me. I'm still concerned about the heat, and I don't know that there's anything I can do about that unless I use my magic ability, my little magic powder to like make a spacesuit or something.
You have a couple uses of that stuff left.
All right, let's do that.
All right, so you that cork and pour a teeny bit of it out. It forms into a cookie-shaped spacesuit with incredible heat resistance.
That's the stuff.
You shimmy your way into it and hop down.
I imagine a Tupperware container. I just hop in the back, closes up.
And it makes those, like, it has those little snappies on the sides that close Tupperware lids. Yeah. So you're in that as you begin to shimmy down.
Oh no, I'm not shimmying. I am Tom Cruise Mission Impossibling.
Okay. So you dive down the smokestack. I want you to roll a dexterity saving throw for me.
Sure. So that's a 10.
All right. You are unfortunately not going to be able to grasp onto this, but you are going to be able to save yourself from harm. As you go down, you notice that it opens into this enormous furnace that seems to be filled with that beautiful glitter that you carry with you. That is what is being burned here. You realize that you are heading straight for that mass of burning before you are able to catch yourself on one of these industrial pipings, and you're able to swing yourself a little bit indelicately onto one of the metal catwalks over the furnaces.
Cool.
You don't fall directly into the fire, but you are unable to, like, do anything cool or get yourself to a better purchase space. You are able to get to the catwalks.
Are these furnaces being fed by, like, a conveyor belt, or like, where's the fuel coming from?
As you look around to find the source of that information, the breath you don't take gets caught in your stomach. The entire factory is the sort of boiling, shimmering heat that makes everything wavy. The iron is hot just before it hits glowing. And the mechanisms, the machines, the things that make this factory go are partially gear, partially pipe, and partially children. The movements that you would require to move a gear or shift a lever, things that would normally be automated, are being done by exhausted-looking children, dressed in the sort of coal-covered rags you are used to seeing in Coal Town. There are hundreds of them. The source of what shovels this dust into the furnaces are yet more children. You observe for long enough to tell that when one begins to wear out, one of the other workers takes their place, trading out whatever they were doing for the repetitive motion of whatever piece they are supposed to be replacing.
So I'm assuming there's no conveyor belt. They're just throwing handfuls of this glitter into the furnace.
They have shovels.
Has anyone seen me?
No.
I want to keep it that way. I'd like to roll a stealth.
Please do. With how shimmery the air is here and the very depressing, constant work nature of this space, the likelihood someone's looking for you is pretty slim.
It's a 21 anyway.
Regardless, you are fine.
Me and my Tupperware are completely hidden.
As you tunk, 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 tunk your little Tupperware feet along the catwalk.
I'm strongly considering just blowing a hole in the side of this thing and getting out of here. I'm going to try to do like a quick perimeter check and just see, are there overseers? Are these automatons there? Is the Krampus here? What's the situation?
As you look around looking for potential sources of conflict, you find a couple of things of note. One, as you look around the walls, you notice that there are no guards, but there are enormous reliefs. Goat head reliefs. The eyes glow red like coals, and you get the feeling that they are watching this situation. Though, fortunately, it doesn't appear that they have yet to see you. As you look around the sprawling space of this factory, you are able to see a couple of doors into the walls. They're all wrought iron and reliefs of goats, and one in particular, though, is cleaner than the others. A little bit nicer, and is one of the furthest from the heat of the furnaces.
And it's also cast iron?
Yes.
Really want to see what's in there. The mission was to get these people out. So I'm going to go to the far end. Mm-hmm. Opposite that door. And I'm going to use another charge of my stuff. I don't know, just make some explosives.
All right, so you're going to pour the Christmas dust to make Christmas bombs.
Yeah, you got it. Firecrackers. The little kinds you pull, only these are extremely explosive.
Then how would you do that without blowing your ass to Kingdom Come?
That's a great point, Alex, and I'm glad you brought it up. Because I don't know. I was just trying to go with a bit there. So never mind, I'm not doing that. It's a big barrel full of eggnog that explodes. Fuck off.
All right, let me help you out here. All right.
Thanks.
So you're going to create this enormous present with a sticky bottom that you are able to, that you would potentially be able to adhere to a surface. The ribbon that comes out of it is long, allowing you to get distance before you yank the ribbon and activate the bomb.
I'm going to go to far corner and push that up against the wall. I'm going to go as far as the ribbon will let me go. Trying to decide if I want to tell one of the kids to be ready or not. I think I'm just going to pull the ribbon and they'll...
I want you guys, just real quick, and listeners at home, please understand. I want you to imagine being one of these this sad Dickensian orphans in this terrible dystopian factory, and then a giant cookie in a spacesuit-shaped Tupperware comes up to you, says, "Be ready," and then an explosion rocks the entirety of the space you are in. I don't know that I would not be more horrified.
It's that, or just an explosion rips through the entire factory.
I don't know if that's worse.
I don't know either.
You're going to get the ribbon as extended as you can, and then you are going to yank it, unfurling the ribbon on top of the present, the lid dropping, revealing a tiny, tiny timer. The tiny, tiny timer immediately hits 0 and explodes in a shining, glittery mess that puts an enormous hole in the concrete and metal wall of the side of the factory. The cold begins blasting in, cutting out some of the fires of the furnaces. Everyone just stops. There is a silence that hits immediately. The light comes in, or as much light as Coal Town gets, and you can see straight through to the outside and the enormous wall that surrounds the factory.
In that silence that follows the explosion, I'm gonna yell,
Run for it.
and then head out.
While the children are going to begin to scramble, I will point out that there is only about 5 or 6 feet of distance between the wall and the side of the factory, and you have yet to breach that wall.
I'm just assuming it'll take them a minute to get there, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go repeat the same thing I just did. I am going to try and scoop up more of the glitter on my way out, if it's at all possible. And if it's not, then I won't.
Like, are you trying to refill your thing with more glitter?
Yep.
So the glitter kind of scatters. I was mostly saying it for effect. But
Okay.
I will allow you to get a pinch of it.
Okay.
Enough for a final emergency.
Okay.
Yes, and now you have 2 charges, and what will go into your inventory is called a tiny miracle.
Okay. One more bomb, one more wall, pull the ribbon.
The bomb that you need to produce for this enormous wall that surrounds the factory is only what can be described as mammoth.
All right.
You're going to have to block the children away from it, because this will blast them to Kingdom Come.
I'll get it set up, and then I'm going to run back into the building. I guess the children are running towards the hole.
Yes.
When they get there, I'm going to hold up the ribbon, and I'm going to go,
Well, sorry, I was a bit early. We actually have to wait just a bit. Hang on.
and then I'm going to yank it.
The explosion shakes not only the factory and the space that you are in, but all of Coal Town itself. The smoke clears, and you hear screams of jubilation, of excitement, of freedom newly gained, and of terror.
Well,
The children begin to flood into the streets, and you can hear the whirring of the automatons begin to activate. It is at this point that we will revisit the cold sitting room of the Snow Queen.
as the explosions rock the city.
She's going to take a very slow, quiet sip of wine as the entire room shakes. She's going to seem unaffected and gently set the goblet back down, turning to you as if that didn't just occur.
What happened to you?
Oh, I'm quite fine. I believe it was just some kind of earthquake.
No, not that. To you. Who you used to be.
She's going to roll her eyes fairly, over the top. And just, this again. I do wish you would stop with this idea that I was somehow warm and fuzzy when we were younger.
No, not warm. Not fuzzy. But you weren't like this.
I was never kind. That was an assumption you had made, because you somehow erroneously believe that I am like you.
So you're fine with, and he'll like gesture back towards the door, all of these kids being taken away.
Oh, dear brother, are you not of the... Oh, this is quite embarrassing for you. Do you not know who's part of this plan? I'm part of the ones who thought of it.
What is the plan?
He truly does care, you know, it's rather cute, but I think he loses sight of the bigger picture, as it were. It might be better for you to speak to him yourself. Would you like to?
I'm talking to you now. And does he have your mind? Is he controlling you like you're controlling that kid out there?
Dear brother, I'm not like you. My mind is not easily controlled.
Why do I need to speak to him?
Because he'll be able to have this conversation with you without these constant pleads you will have to what you assume is my better humanity. It will save us a lot of time if you just assume that I am a terrible person, because I am so exhausted trying to convince you that I am.
I look to Halley.
She looks towards Halley and gestures towards the sweets on the table. You can see, like, cakes and fudge and Turkish delight and really bright candies, all in, like, crystal serving trays and bowls. She looks to Halley and goes, "Oh," and she sort of gestures with her hand, and another crystal bowl appears, filled with sugared plums. "Please, please, eat. It was terribly rude of me to not extend to your friend. Forgive me. Here, please, enjoy."
I think Halley shifts a little bit. She is being like, almost like cowering, not behind Jack, but like she is being pressed up right next to him. I think she takes a step towards it, but never kind of breaking that sort of contact, and sniffs it. And she's trying to sniff out, she's divine sensing, but she's basically trying to sense like the Christmas magic or like nice or naughty spirit kind of thing.
This is powerful naughty spirit magic. While it is not coal magic, it is something older, something further from human understanding. But the food that it produces is real enough and not poisoned in any way that you can tell.
I think that's still enough to give her that second of pause, and she doesn't feel like comfortable enough to approach any closer, so she just gives it like one last like big snort, and I imagine it like kind of blows off like some of like the powdery sugary stuff on it, and then she steps back right next to Jack.
"Oh, no, you don't like plums?"
I don't know. Maybe I don't know that I like those ones.
"I assure you, I have done nothing to them."
Promise?
"I do."
I put a hand on Halley.
She was gonna step forward and go for it, but when Jack puts a hand on her, then she'll stop.
"Dear brother, I wish you no harm. If you recall, it is you and your friends who have shown up to my home in an effort to disrupt what I am doing. I am not the aggressor here."
Dear sister,
Oh, it's so weird when you speak like me.
whatever you're doing, whatever plan that you all have, I've told my friends that I would come in here and I would ask you, but give you one last chance. Whatever you're going to do, don't.
Wonderful. How is that working for you?
Doesn't seem to be working good.
It is not. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm happy to see you. It's wonderful to have company.
Yeah, I had to leave my family to come here.
Oh, and how are my darling niece and nephew?
They're good.
It's good to hear. Regardless, I'm not sure what grand thing you seem to think I'm doing.
I don't know, but I know it can't be good because all these kids are here that were taken from their homes, from their families.
Well, yes, that's what Krampus does. Did you know that some of the folktales say he takes them straight to hell?
I'd heard rumors.
Well, isn't this so much nicer?
I've never been to hell.
Oh, well, I believe it gets a bad rap personally, but all that is to say, I appreciate your concern for my little venture here, but I assure you things are going perfectly well, and I have no need to step down from this project.
I looked to Halley. She said no.
Yeah, but that's not nice.
I'm entirely unsure to how you thought this would work.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I can explain it. So we were going to come here and we were going to ask you if you could stop it. And then you were just going to say yes because the kids want to go home because they're not having fun here. And if they're not having fun here, then they should be allowed to go home.
Oh, so this is... Oh, I see. Your concern is the children are not enjoying themselves here. Is that what this is?
Yes, but also that they should go home.
Wonderful. She's going to gesture her hand, and the soft breeze with the snow is going to start gesturing out back towards the main hall. You should go speak with him. I believe that truly you have a misunderstanding of the true altruism of this project.
Hallie's gonna look at Jack, both in what to do and also please define the word altruism for me.
Can't do that. I'll go. But there is one more thing that I would like to know about you. Call it nostalgia. And I'll pull out the pocket watch, face it towards her, and kind of open it.
She throws her head back and laughs. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that. It's not often I remember my ascension. Oh, did you think that was going to be something evocative for you?
I hoped it would, but you're lost.
I've never been anything else. But please, if you're going to find something, find your answer. Go, speak with him. To be perfectly frank with you, I'm tired of this conversation.
Put another hand on Halley.
Also, should I invite in your other friend? She is interesting, isn't she? A true child of Christmas.
Don't hurt her.
Oh, why would I do that? I have so many other things I need from her.
Well, she's busy. No, thank you.
Oh, well. Allow me to invite you upstairs.
I'll take another step forward and kind of like brush Halley with me. Halley, you'll see a small icicle tear fall down Jack's face, but he already breaks it.
Cedar, you're going to be standing in front of the space, watching Gerda talk to Kai and just get increasingly distressed. As you're watching this conversation, though, you see the snow around the manor begins to sort of gently sway and move. It breezes towards you and encircles you in this not frozen, terrible cold, but that sort of invigorating chill as it swirls around you, and you can feel the wind sort of gently push as if indicating you to go towards the doors.
Yeah, Cedar's gonna start walking forward.
The doors are going to open for you silently, quietly, without so much as a whisper. The path before you leads to the front entrance of the manor, and it's this beautiful crystalline ice carved in the shape of guardrails and steps. Beautiful stone path, all carved out of perfect ice. The snow, again, leads up towards those stairs and towards a door that opens in an invitation.
I think that Cedar is going to start forward, but then look back to where Gerda is having such a hard time with Kai. And she's going to walk back to Gerda.
Gerda is going to turn towards you, just tears coming down her face. And she's just going to be like, it's like he doesn't even hear me.
Let me try something. And she's going to bend down in front of Kai and reach out her hand toward him and sing, "Watchmen, tell us of the night. What darkness has taken you far? Traveler through the haze and blight, follow my voice like a star." And she's gonna cast Dispel Magic at 4th level.
You see that there was something over his eyes, behind his glasses. This clear ice that begins to melt down his face, mixing with the tears that are finally able to flow. With a sob, he launches forward and pulls G.U.M.D.R.O.P into his arms. The two of them, absolutely just, crumpling to the floor, sobbing into each other's arms. And despite the wails that are coming from these two very young children, who have seen and been through more than any child should, you feel a lightness to your heart. And a sense of fulfilled purpose.